All right, what's up, everybody? Hopefully everybody's having an amazing weekend, and hopefully y'all have had a green week as well. So let's get to this, right? Okay, so one of the things that I want to point out here is that I'm looking at this market, and we have a very strong bullish engulfing candle here on the weekly time frame. Okay, now what happened in the previous 2 weeks? Everybody knows that this week here was the Thanksgiving, which was a very short week, and we hit this all-time high, and then we trended down the rest of the week. Except the rest of the week was only on some very light volume, just because it was only open like a full 3 days. One day was off, and then the other day was like it was legit like a half day. So it kind of doesn't count. So we can really just say that it was only open like 3 days out of the week, right? So what we had here was the Thanksgiving, and then last week, the week right afterwards, is we had some news come out, and the news had to do with this new virus thing that's going on in the world, and it's a COVID thing. So it brought a lot of fear to the market. It brought a lot of fear, and it created a lot of bearish patterns all across the board. And the patterns here were, strong rejections. Everybody was like freaking out. The VIX went high and everything like that, right? So I came on here and then I talked about it during this week. I said we might come and retest this zone right here, right? And the only way to know if we're going to break above or break below was to set some alerts. And I kept it very simple. Okay. The entry was right here for the break above to continue bullish, and the target was going to be up here. So you guys can go check out previous videos and go see for yourselves. I said, otherwise, I said, we're going to come down from the break above this candle, and we're going to come down to this level right here to test it. The difference here now is that you can't go biased when we're looking at a chart. You can't go biased based on news. You can't go biased on what other people are saying. You got to understand the direction and where everything is going to change. When everything changes, is you got to have the right levels. In order to have the proper levels, you got to understand how to read a chart and understand where we're going, with or without the news. The catalysts are just extra things that are going to push the market. They're going to drive it. It's the excuse to either go long or to go short, just like a pattern. If we have a pattern, it's going to be the excuse to go above or to go below, or to see the huge rejection, which causes a downtrend, and et cetera, et cetera. In this case, we have a strong bullish candle. So what I want to point out is that even with this Thanksgiving red candle, even with this volatile candle that had to do with the news, it reacted already. The volume came in hot. We got rejected from the supply level at these all-time highs, and then we went bullish, and we didn't care about anything that just happened in the past 2 weeks. Okay, this is the most important piece. And this here is what's going to give everybody the excuse and the sentiment that's going to be bullish. Okay, everything that happened in the past legit just got covered and engulfed by a bullish candle here. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. All right, now what I'm going to do is to drop down to this 4-hour. I'm going to show you the volatility here with the aggressive movement, the volume, the catalyst, everything about it just drove everything, and everybody, like all the bears came out, and everybody was saying this is going to be the next crash. Look what happened. The full recovery, the bull flag pattern here, the breakout above, and the bull flag pattern here closed on top and right into the supply levels. Okay, so all-time high target basically is how I have it broken down. This here is your supply right here. These two blue lines are your supply, and then this is what we're going to look for. Okay, bull flag breakout. The bull flag breakout, what happens naturally when you have a pattern? We have the break above, and then we have that retest. Okay, so the retest is going to be here. This level, 46.78, 46.80, will need to hold. If we can't hold here, it's going to be a failed of a bull flag retest. And then that's when we're going to see a little more volatility. We're going to drop back into this pattern and we're going to hold down a channel to the downside. Okay. I don't know how far it's going to go, but all you got to do is set those levels. You want to find that bottom. You want to find the next piece where we kind of stalled right here. You want to find the next piece where we stalled right there. And then all the way down here to this 45.90 and 46. Okay. So those are the downside levels. If you want to look for the continuation to the top side, if you think we're going to, keep on mooning and the bullish engulfing candle is just going to keep on rocking and we're going to, trend all the way into the end of the year, to call it a nice Christmas rally into the, maybe you get a head start into that rally because Christmas rally does not begin until the week of, okay? Remember, Christmas rally does not begin until the week of, therefore calling it that Christmas rally on Christmas Day. So we can get that head start, kind of like a run up into earnings. Usually we see that and we get that huge run and momentum and volume and everything just goes crazy, right? What we have coming up this week, though, I hope you guys looked at the calendar, the economic calendar, the news. We do have FOMC and we have a couple other things that are going to drive the market. We do have some news articles right now that are coming out today, actually, about like the Omicron variant, whatever you want to call it, the Delta virus, the other COVID stuff, and it's the numbers are just increasing, but it's something normal. Everybody in winter usually gets sick. Okay, there's nothing new about it. But also, you want to check out tickers like mRNA, J&J, any health-related stocks that might run with volatility. So totally up to you guys. I personally don't trade that stuff, but you guys can go ahead and check it. So anyways, this is what we're going to look for. Regardless of all the news, regardless of the volatility, you still got to keep your head focused and know where we're going to go, right? So once we break from this bull flag, we're going to break this pole right here. Okay, that's going to be the confirmation for a lot of the retail crew to keep on going long, and that's going to bring in a lot of momentum and volume and volatility at all-time highs. Okay, once we start breaking all-time highs, be aware that the selling can be a little aggressive. Okay, so once the selling goes aggressive, wait for the volume to slow down and buy the dip at the bottom. That's what's creating a nice bullish play. Also, if you're going to be swing trading, understand that holding overnight can be a very, very high risk due to all the news that's being developed and the numbers, the inflation, I mean, the data, everything about it. You have to understand that is a high risk trade. Okay, anything swing trading. So this is just DS, guys. This is the sentiment that I'm going to get from the market, and this is what I use to personally trade my tickers. So I'm going to break down a couple here and give you guys the levels, the entry levels, and hopefully you guys take advantage of this, right? And I did already post this weekly watch list all across the board. A lot of platforms out there have the weekly watch list, and I'm just going to break down a few for you guys. All right, so here's Starbucks. Very simple. I do like the break over that 117. I have a target of like 120. So this is my target. It's a very simple trade. I want to see it create a nice staircase pattern and just kind of do something like this, right? So very simple for Starbucks, nothing too crazy. And I want to be able to make sure that we hold this base right here. So even if it just drops down right here and then does something like this, I'll be okay with it. But the levels do not change, okay? That 117 and then this 115, 40, 30 level would be a support. Below this, I don't want to buy the dip at all. Disney is another one that I think a lot of people out there are still watching it, and I want to show you guys the weekly time frame because this is a great level. I actually started buying shares, right here when it started dropping at 150, and I started loading up some more. Definitely for my daughter's account. She's only 14. By the time that she's 18, 20, I'm hoping Disney will be like way up here or even further. So I truly believe in the value of Disney and the growth potential in the next few years. I'm not looking just for short-term plays, but definitely looking for long-term. So the weekly time frame, the retest would be at this 169, 170. Okay, so it needs to drop and create like a fish hook pattern right here. If we can have another green candle, I do still think that Disney has a long ways to go for recovery. So this is going to be on my watch list, literally like every single day moving forward until we can reach this 170. But Disney right here, very simple setup. The game plan is all here with every target. Okay, so the break above for a breakout is going to be 154. The dip buy is anywhere. The entry is anywhere above 153 to 154. So if we can get a good entry here to ride a swing and break 154, my first target literally is going to be up here 157 to 158 area. From there, we go to 159.20 to 160. And then from there, we go to 162.50 all the way to 163.60. And these are the targets that I have. As you can see, I have all my alerts here to tell me to start going long. Once these level alerts pop off for me, I will start adding some more, and I will reset these for a dip buy opportunity. I want to look for a lot of volume increase. I want to look for spikes of volume come in intraday and to be on green candles, the green candles, because it's going to show a sign of buyers, right? Now, if this thing drops below this 152, I really don't want it. And I will wait for the break of 154 and wait for any pattern to form down here. Like I said, wait for some crazy volume to come in, good market sentiment, and just start riding Disney all the way back up. PayPal is the other one, the one that's going to be on my list every single day. Like I said, until I see a full recovery for this thing, it has a lot of reward for this. We are down here at these levels, and if we can just reach back here to this 310, it would be amazing, right? So we're at 188 right now, and if you can go all the way to that 310, I think that's a great risk to reward, if you ask me. Just my opinion, I guess, but let the chart do the talking, right? So here what we have again with PayPal. PayPal last week did break the 190, and I was able to swing trade all this all the way in here. I had some 190s, 195 calls, and I rode it for those couple of days and brought in some good profits. So this was a heavier position on my end, and basically paid for everything else for the week. So this one, again, over 190, I really want a long position anywhere in here. I just want these candle bodies to hold. I don't want this candle wick to break. Okay, very simple. So we're retesting a supply here. Okay, this was one supply. Once it broke out, it came and retest here just a bit. But now we're inside and testing it. So if we can just get some good volume, some good price action here to bring it up and change. Over 190 and 195 are going to be the break above. My first target's around 204. Anywhere over 200 basically is what I'm looking for. And then potentially reach these highs up here of 215, 216, right? So this will be on my list every single day moving forward from now on, right? So that's PayPal. We do have another one here for MU. I think MU is a great one. I think the only difference here is that if we don't break above, this thing might just range trade the rest of the week into earnings. So be careful with them, you guys. I'm really just bringing it up here because I'm alert over 87. Over 87 to the target of 90 would be a nice run up into earnings. Other than that, I really don't have any more interest in it. Just because we do have this trend line, and then we have that resistance right there at that 87. So again, over 87, we have a target of a run up into earnings into that 90 level. Otherwise, we're going to stay range and then kind of, stop out every other trader who tries to get into MU because we do have earnings coming up soon. With that, I really do like Qualcomm. Qualcomm has been a very strong ticker, and right here, what I want to show you is the pressure that's being built. Okay, we have sellers on top, we have buyers on bottom. Once we get a break of this 185 or the break of what is 181.70, then it's going to drive down and it's going to drive up. So very simple. The target here is 187.77 and then 188.77. And from there, I have a 190, 192 target. for Qualcomm, and just any whole number in general is how I would trail the all-time highs. But I do like this. I'm not a big fan of all-time high tickers, but it's definitely a great one just because of the pressure being built here for Qualcomm. Snow is the other one that I have here. It's more of a pattern play. We do have a little squeeze right here, almost like an ascending triangle, almost like that. I wouldn't really consider it that, but that's kind of what it looks like. So once we break above this piece right here, this 375, we really don't have any supply up here. We do have resistance, but we don't have supply. Okay, that's the difference. If you know me as a supply and demand trader, you know that there is not enough structure here to call it supply. So we do have some resistance points, but they're not as heavy. The first target would be this wick right here, which would be your 384.67. And then the next one would be right here around your 390. And then right here, 392. So ultimately, what you would want to see is this little base. The break above will kind of do something like this. Okay, that's what I would look for into snow. It's a heavy ticker. The premiums are heavy, so this is not for small size accounts. It's more for a bigger account, right? TW low. This is going to be on the side watch for me. It's still on a nice downtrend, as you can see. Every time we try to base out, we drop. We try to go up, we drop, and just more red than green. If there's more red than green, then there's no reason to try to look for a dip buy. What you want to look for here is for a change of price action, and what I want to see is over 270. Anything over 270, just this level right here, 271. I want to see a nice momentum, do something like that, or even just create like a pattern or a range trade right here, anywhere between 280 and 270, and then for it to catch some attention and for some traders to come in here to find a reason to take this long. So this is more of a side chart. It's nothing too crazy, and that's about it, right? Now I want to point out Microsoft for everybody. I know everybody traded on Friday. This was like a hot ticker on Friday, and there was a lot of volume on this. I do want to show you that it did break over supply. So basically this level here, and we closed above, and we're creating a nice bullish trend to the top side, almost like an inverse head and shoulders here, as you can see. So just want to draw it out for you guys, just so you can see. So that's kind of what it looks like, an inverse head and shoulders. If you don't know what it is, go ahead and Google it or search it, do whatever you got to do, or check out the Instagram post on the head and shoulder patterns. But anyways, this thing has room to continue to the top side. There is no supply yet whatsoever. So I honestly would legit be looking for 350. From 340, 345 to 350, I think Microsoft is a good swing play. Again, I'm not a big fan of the all-time highs, but once these tickers start showing a lot of strength, then they're definitely worth trading and looking into, right? Facebook is another one that's pretty good. I keep it very simple. I like anything over 335, and once we start reaching these 340 levels, I think the trend for Facebook will change, and we'll start trending back up with the market. Again, a lot of reward for this to the top side, and we just need to catch a little more of an uptrend for Facebook. Facebook has been good on the reward side. I think the past few times we've traded Facebook here, so it's been really good, really rewarding. I know some of you guys are watching Amazon like crazy. This one again almost looks like a head and shoulders as well. This thing already played out to the downside, right? Just to show you guys, already played out. Okay, so now what you have here is your last line of support, and I am not going to be looking at Amazon until we break above this piece right here. Okay, this is my trigger to go long. Otherwise, it's at a good dip buy area, and just look for that recovery to that 35, and even the top of this, right? That's what I would look for Amazon. Another side thing to watch, guys, is the financials. The financials have a decent pattern right here. If you guys go look at all the financials, they kind of have this pattern. And what it is, it's a retest right here that's happening of the break right here of the supply. And we're looking for this to just do this. Okay, not that big, but you guys get it. We're looking for a push over this point right here for financials for this 39 and 39.50 to come back into the 40 level and just start trending back up. I think financials will be very hot next year. They have a lot of potential just because of the interest rates and a lot of stuff that's going on with the inflation and things like that. I think financials will be a great opportunity to start looking into next year. Some of the setups here are really great. As you can see, JPM, I want to show you. JPM kind of has this like nice little pattern forming. Let's go look at BAC. BAC is like one of my top tickers that I wanted to check out. It looks like we tried to break above, but we couldn't here. Okay, so either way, nice little setup. If we can get a reversal right here over this like 44.80 and 45, I think this would be a great entry for a start of a price change. Let's check out GS. Yeah, not much for GS. I don't like anything about it. Nothing for MS either. I mean, other than this huge range that we have here, but nothing too crazy. So again, guys, I think the market's in a great spot. You know, just look for opportunities to reverse. So like ARC, look for a great time to buy and look for a base to build. SQ is another one that you can find. I do have my alerts over this 194, but you know, look for things that make sense. You know, look for tickers that are downtrending and you know, building bases and building ranges that can help you understand when the reversals are going to happen. And I think that's the best thing somebody can do in this market versus trying to catch, you know, things that are at all-time highs and, you know, always trying to grab the all-time high breakout. Like it just doesn't make sense, right? But if it does make sense, then, you know, take the trade. Otherwise, you know, stick to risk to reward, find plays that are gonna make it happen for you and plays that you can put on your watch list every single day, like PayPal and Disney. I think these are great plays that you can add to your portfolios. Of course, just my opinion, and you know, has to be first and foremost a ticker that you believe in and you believe in the growth. Okay, so keep that in mind. I mean, other than that, guys, I think the market is fine. I don't think there's nothing, you know, to worry about yet until we, you know, until we see this like crazy news and market reacts and then inflation, you know, goes to the top and, you know, America goes in debt or whatever it is, like whatever. But until now, follow the direction, guys. Keep on trading those retest levels, the breakouts, the patterns, all those things. Stick to what you know. Don't go out of what you don't know. If you're learning something new, keep on learning, but don't go in there until you find consistency and understand what's happening with this new system that you're trying to work. If you consistently trade bull flags, stick to those bull flags, right? If you consistently trade, you know, the dip buys, stick to that. You know, don't change who you are for somebody else just because somebody else made 1,000% on, you know, ODTE on Tesla or Amazon or SPY or Facebook or AMD or Microsoft, whatever. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, stick to your structure, be disciplined, and find things that make sense. Okay, remember everybody's account is different. Everybody's emotions and reactions are different. Our characteristics are different. We are all unique, just like the ticker in itself. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep on learning, keep on growing, stay disciplined, manage your risk, and please do not YOLO what you can't handle. Okay, if you take that loss on a YOLO, understand that you put that on the table because you understood that you were able to handle that on an emotional basis that will not cloud your judgment on the next entry or execution that you will have. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you guys with that very simple list this week, guys. It's gonna be a little volatile, remember that, but remember the market, we are close to a top on a supply. We have a engulfing candle. We went up, not caring about what the news said. So if you guys see any other news article, react to it. Okay, follow the trend, but don't stay biased. Just because we get something bad doesn't mean we're going to go super bearish and start crashing in the market. If we get something good, doesn't mean we're going to keep on mooning to the, you know, to the top. And follow the direction, guys. The direction can change within minutes. It can change within hours. I mean, it can change overnight drastically. So be aware, okay? So yeah, I will leave you guys with that. Good luck this week. And hopefully I get some good feedback when you guys let us know how well you did. All right, so stay green, and I will see you guys on the next one.